All right. Good afternoon. I'm Hannah Perky. I'm CEO of Evelo team with Keller Williams Realty. I'm joined by Bob Warner, and we are here to give you your monthly market update on what's happening in the real estate market here in Central Indiana. So, Bob, we will just jump right in here. Go ahead and tell me what's happening for the month of May.
Absolutely. So we'll just get started. First up is that median sales price. We were up just 1% over where we were in May of 24. So we ended at 315 for May of 25. And next up is that cumulative days on market. So we were at 10 for the month of May. Obviously, looks like a bigger percentage jump at 25% year over year. But as I was looking back just in January, we were in the mid 30s. So we've dropped from mid 30s to 10 in just the span of a few months. And obviously, as we get into Q4, we might see that go back up. Similar story here on that month's supply of inventory. Again, a balanced market generally considered about a 4 to 5 month supply of inventory. We ended May with 1.7 and we ended last May at 1.5, so up about 19% there. And we always like to look at that percent of list price received. So as a market as a whole, we're still selling at 98.7%. Again, keep in mind that means there's always a percentage of the homes that sell above list price, a percentage of homes that sell at list price, and a percentage of homes that sell below. But sort of the important metrics we look at initially.
Okay, love it. All right. What about additionally for the shifting market? What have you been looking at?
Yeah, so a few slides here. We like to keep a look at that active inventory. This actually is a pretty decent jump from where we were last year. We had
Mhm.
5,600 units active at the end of May, where last year we were at 4,500. So for our market, a 20+% increase in active inventory, that's a pretty significant number. Closed sales were also up, so we continue to see that go up month over month. So not a huge jump from where we were last year, just over 100 units different. The number of new listings, again, similar to active listings, we were up about just a little under 10% year over year. Had 4,300 new listings in May. And then we talked about the percent of list price received, but we also like to look at is the percent of transactions that closed above list price. So we're still running over 20% on that, or basically 1 out of every 5 transactions, 1 out of every 4, roughly, is closing above list price.
Yeah. And like we've talked about before, obviously you could dig into different sectors of the market and get some more detailed numbers. So if you're thinking about listing, I think that's really important to talk to your agent about is like, what does your specific market look like? Because that number, as we see with the listings we have coming across the board, is it can be very different from place to place.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. What about interest rates?
Yeah, so I feel like it's a little bit of a broken record for the last few months here. I think
Mhm.
each of the last like 3 or 4 months in a row, we've been within like zero point 0.1 or zero point 0.2 percentage points. So again, this is just kind of a general weekly average. So ending last Thursday, we were at 6.84% on average for a 30-year fixed.
Mhm.
When we did this last month, we were at 6.81. And it's a little hard to see, I know, on the screens, but if you just kind of look over here at the trend line, even really going back to late summer, early fall of last year, we have just been in that basically 6.6 to 6.85, 6.9 for going on 8 or 9 months now. So I think the good
Mhm.
news in that is that we have stabilized. There certainly is a little movement up and down each week and each day
Yeah.
for that matter, but we're not seeing jumps like the 52-week average on there. We did get to one point
Right.
last year where we dropped close to 6, and we've been close to 7, so that's a wider spread, but we have stayed really
Mhm.
consistent within a couple tenths of a point for the last 4 or 5 months in a row.
Yeah, I always joke that's the question we ask the most at like cookouts and sporting events. But yeah, our answers have not changed much. And I don't think we anticipate them to in the coming months. All right, how about any final thoughts? Anything else we should be thinking about today?
Yeah, just always try to think of something. So, if you've maybe kind of been on the fence for a while, maybe empty nesters, just a couple of you at home now and have been thinking about downsizing. I know some people might be afraid of the interest rates or afraid of the prices, but if you haven't had kind of an equity analysis done on your home in a long time, You may be surprised to find out that there's a lot of opportunity there. And just being able to tap into that equity could potentially make you a cash buyer for your next home as you in particular are looking to downsize. So this was just an interesting number that I came across this week, and it's kind of the percentage of cash buyers from 2003 to 2024, going all the way back to 2003. We just had 7% of home sales were all cash buyers, and we reached crested 26% in 2024. So a lot of different things lead to that, but certainly the increase in equity that homeowners have had, in particular over the last decade of solid growth with no real
Mhm.
declines in value, could open up an opportunity for you. And then that might open up an opportunity for the next buyer to come in and take your existing home as you kind of move on to your next situation.
Yeah, I love that. That's so interesting because I think we feel it as real estate agents, the amount of cash buyers. And I just was telling Bob, I got off the phone with a realtor from California. We were talking about the price difference of homes. And so, you sell a average 1.5 million in San Fran and come here, and our average is, in the threes. You can definitely be a cash buyer here with the equity. So I think even that relocation piece for Indiana from an affordability standpoint. So that's great. Awesome. Well, thank you for prepping that for us, Bob. And we hope that information is useful and helpful to you as you consider your buying or selling needs. We're here if you guys need us. You can reach out via DM, or we'll put our contact info in the comments. And that's it for today. So short and sweet. We hope you have a great afternoon, and we will be back next month. Thanks so much.